students, the human digestive system or the alimentary canal that starts from mouth and it ends in anus. So the first part of human digestive system already in last class we have discussed, that is mouth or oral cavity. So the mouth or the oral cavity or the buccal cavity, it contains teeth, tongue and salivary glands. So the mouth or oral cavity, it consists of teeth, tongue and salivary gland. Then this mouth, it leads to pharynx. Pharynx means it is a tubular structure and it is a common passage for air as well as food. So next to pharynx, other tubular structure or muscular structure is their tube-like structure, that is known as esophagus. So now let's discuss about esophagus. So this esophagus means it is a muscular structure, muscular straight, muscular tube-like structure. It is about 10 inches or 25 centimeter long, and the main function of this esophagus, it connects the mouth with the stomach. So this muscular structure or the esophagus, it connects the mouth with the stomach. So the food which is chewed with the help of teeth, or after the chewing process, the food material or that food, it is converted into another form that is known as food bolus. So now this food bolus, that is pushed down with the help of this tongue, and it is pushed down to pharynx, and now it reaches to esophagus. Then through this esophagus, this food bolus that will move downwards to the stomach. So that is why we can say that the main function of esophagus, it connects the mouth with the stomach. So the food takes about 4 to 8 seconds when it passes through the stomach. So within 4 to 8 seconds, the food that will passes through this esophagus and it reaches to the stomach. That means within seconds of time, within 4 to 8 seconds of time, the food bolus which is pushed down through this esophagus, it will reaches to the stomach. Then its wall contains smooth muscles that contracts, or the contraction of the smooth muscles which present in the walls of esophagus, it pushes down the food bolus towards the stomach. And that particular movement or particular verve-like contraction, the verve contraction or the verve movement, contraction as well as the relaxation, contraction then relaxation. So due to the contraction as well as the relaxation of these muscles of esophagus, it pushes the food bolus downward to the stomach, and that particular type of verve contraction of this esophagus. So the verve contraction of esophagus is known as peristalsis. Verve contraction of esophagus, that is known as peristalsis, and which results in the downward movement of food bolus through this esophagus towards the stomach. So such kinds of movement or particular type of verve movement or contraction or the relaxation of the muscles, circular muscles, two types of muscles are there, circular muscle as well as the longitudinal muscles. So that verve-like contraction as well as the relaxation of circular as well as longitudinal muscles of this esophagus, that is termed as peristalsis. So due to this peristaltic movement, this food bolus that will propels down or that will move down to the stomach. So we can see that peristalsis, it propels food as well as liquid slowly down the esophagus into the stomach. So the cardiac sphincter or ring-like valve, it relaxes to allow food into the stomach. That means the contraction as well as the relaxation of the muscles which present in the esophagus, that helps to push the food downward to the stomach. So such kind of movement or verb movement or verb contraction, that is known as peristalsis. Now let's discuss about the actual mechanism of peristalsis. So this long tubular structure, this shows the muscular tube of esophagus. Then longitudinal muscle, two types of muscles are there, longitudinal muscles as well as circular muscles. So the contraction as well as the relaxation of this longitudinal muscle or the circular muscle, or simply we can say the contraction as well as the relaxation of the muscles of esophagus, it pushes the food bolus downward. Look at the figure. So during the contraction, when it contracts, this part, it shows the contraction. So when the muscles of this esophagus contract, that time the food bolus that will squeezes downward or that will move downward. Then during the relaxation, it allows its lumen to widen. So likewise the muscular contraction as well as the relaxation, that type of verb movement or that is known as peristalsis. So due to this peristalsis or due to this mechanism, this figure or this is the structure of food bolus, and now this food bolus, it is pushed downward to the stomach. So the involuntary rhythmic verbs of muscular contractions, that is known as peristaltic movement, and it results in the downward movement of food bolus through this esophagus to stomach. Then this process is initiated by the presence of food. So if there is presence of food, then automatically that means it is actually involuntary action. That means it's not under our control. That means it is an involuntary process. When there is presence of food or any liquid substance is there, then what will happen? Actually, these muscles of this esophagus, it starts its contraction as well as relaxation, and which results in the downward movement or propulsion of food through this esophagus to stomach. So this is the actual mechanism of peristalsis. So now, due to this peristaltic movement, the food bolus, it reaches to stomach. Stomach means it is a J-shaped structure. It is a J-shaped structure. Stomach, it is J-shaped structures, J-shaped sac-like structure. So the food that stored inside this sac-like structure, that is known as stomach. So stomach will act as a temporary storage sac for food for 3 to 4 hours. Then it is a distensible as well as muscular band with thick and well-developed muscular walls. Then the powerful muscular contractions of the stomach that helps to mixes these food bolus or mixes that food material with the enzymes or gastric juices which present inside the stomach, and further breakdown or further digestion process that will continue within the stomach itself, and that process is known as churning. So churning means due to the powerful muscular contraction of the stomach wall, it results in churning process or the proper mixing of the food. That means partially digested food along with the digestive juices or gastric juices which present inside the stomach, and that powerful mixing or the powerful muscular contraction, that is known as the churning process of food. Then now this food, it properly mixed with the gastric juice and the food bolus, now it transformed to chyme. That particular substance, that is known as chyme. That means food bolus, when it reaches to the stomach, due to the churning process, now this food bolus, it is converted into another form, finally mixed form or fine form, that is known as chyme. So now this food that is converted into chyme. So stomach means it is a J-shaped muscular sac-like structure which acts as a temporary storage house for food near about 3 to 4 hours. Then the gastric juice or the walls of the stomach that secrete some digestive juices, and these food bolus it properly mixed with this gastric juice, and now it convert into another form that is known as chyme. The stomach, it contains gastric juices. Gastric juice means secretion from stomach. So, stomach, gastric juices means actually it is the secretion from the stomach. So, the gastric juice or the secretion from the stomach, it contains pepsin. Pepsin means it is digestive enzyme. So, pepsin, then HCl, that means acid, hydrochloric acid, then mucus. So, all these are secretions of stomach. So, the gastric juice or the main enzyme that is secreted from the stomach or the gastric glands present in the stomach, that is the most important enzyme that is known as pepsin. So, pepsin means it is a major enzyme. So, the main function of pepsin, it helps in the conversion or the breakdown of proteins. So, the digestion of protein or breakdown of proteins. So, the main function of gastric juice or gastric enzyme, main enzyme that is pepsin. The main function of pepsin, it converts proteins into peptides in the presence of hydrochloric acid. HCl means hydrochloric acid. Then another secretion of the stomach, that is HCl. So, HCl means it's not an enzyme. Okay, you have to listen. HCl means it's not an enzyme. Actually, it is acid. Okay, acid secretion of stomach. So, hydrochloric acid or HCl. So, what is the role of this HCl or what is the role of acid in the stomach? So, HCl has its particular role. Likewise, pepsin or like other digestive enzyme, this HCl actually it is acid, but this acid that also have important role in the process of digestion. So, the main function of the HCl or hydrochloric acid, it provides acidic medium. So, main function, it provides acidic medium for the action of this pepsin. Acidic medium for the action of pepsin. So, for the action of pepsin or the conversion of protein or for the action of pepsin, they required acidic medium. So, this HCl, it provides acidic medium for the action of pepsin. Also, it activates, by providing acidic medium, it activates protein digesting enzyme known as pepsin. Then another one more important function, HCl or this acid, it kills the bacteria which present in the stomach. So, main important functions of hydrochloric acid which present in the stomach. Main function, first one, it provides acidic medium. So, there should be proper acidic medium should be there for the action of the pepsin over the protein. Then on this pepsin, the digestive enzyme, pepsin can break down the proteins into peptide. So, they require a maximum or minimum amount of this acidic medium. Minimum acidic medium should be required for the action of pepsin. So, HCl provide acidic medium, as well as by providing this acidic medium, hydrochloric acid, it activates protein digesting enzyme known as pepsin. Then third function, it kills the bacteria present in the food. Bacteria or any microorganism which may enter into our stomach along with the food material. This HCl helps to kill such kinds of bacteria or microorganism which enter along with the food items. So, this is about the role of hydrochloric acid. Then another important thing, that is mucus. So, the mucus glands which present in the walls of the stomach, so that secrete a slimy substances, thick slimy substance that is known as mucus. The main function of mucus, that is lubrication. Main function, lubrication, or it lubricates the food. When food will passes through the stomach, so it lubricates the food, or it lubricates the walls of the stomach for the proper movement of food or proper mixing of the food. Why? It provides lubrication. So one important function of this mucus, lubrication, or it lubricates the food. Then second function, protection. It protects the lining of, or protects the inner lining of stomach from the action of HCl. So second function, that is protection. To protect the inner walls of stomach from the action of HCl. Otherwise, HCl may corrode the walls of stomach. So, it prevents the corroding of inner walls of stomach from the action of HCl, or it protects the inner walls of stomach from the action of hydrochloric acid. So, the stomach, gastric juices are secreted from stomach. The important gastric juice or gastric enzyme, major enzyme, that is pepsin, main function, breakdown of protein, digestion of protein. Then HCl, hydrochloric acid, main function, it provides acidic medium. Then it kills the bacteria or microorganism that is present in the food, as well as it activates protein digesting enzyme pepsin. Then third component, most important component, that is mucus. So mucosity is secreted from the glands, mucus glands, which are present in the stomach. The main function, lubrication, as well as the protection of inner walls of stomach from the action of hydrochloric acid. Along with these, in case of small infants, another one more enzyme along with this pepsin, another one more enzyme is present, that is known as renin. R-E-N-N-I-N, renin. Renin means the main function, it curdles the milk, curdling of milk, or it curdles the milk. Curdling of milk, or it curdles the milk, or conversion of milk, or curdling of the milk, only in case of infants. So, renin, it is present only in case of infants.